Commander Vex stood on the bridge of the warship Stellar Dawn, his 4 eyes scanning the display screens. For 300 cycles, his fleet had patrolled this sector without finding anything interesting. Today was different. "Commander, we have detected an unknown vessel," Officer Karn announced from the weapons station. His voice carried a note of excitement. "Show me," Vex ordered. The main screen flickered to life. A small ship drifted through space, its design unlike anything in the fleet's database. The hull was gray metal with strange markings. It moved slowly, clearly not a military vessel. "It appears to be a cargo transport," Karn said. "Small crew. Minimal weapons." "What species?" Vex asked. "Unknown, Commander. The ship's registry says human." Vex felt his skin plates shift with interest. A new species. In all his years of service, he had cataloged 17 different civilizations. Adding an 18th would be an honor. "Begin standard scans," he ordered. "Full spectrum. I want to know everything about this ship and its crew." The Stellar Dawn's powerful sensors reached across space, invisible fingers probing every part of the human vessel. Data began flowing onto the screens. 5 crew members, Karn reported. Oxygen breathers. Carbon-based. They have basic technology fusion drives, magnetic shields, simple computers. Vex nodded. Standard stuff. Nothing threatening. Perhaps these humans would make good trading partners. Then Karn went silent. His skin turned pale. "What is it?" Vex demanded. "Commander, you need to see this." Karn's hands shook as he transferred the data to the main screen. Vex looked at the biological scan results. His blood ran cold. The humans carried death inside them. Their bodies were filled with bacteria, viruses, and countless microscopic organisms. Some were helping them, but others were constantly trying to kill them. And the humans just lived with it. Every single day, their bodies fought invisible wars against invaders. "This cannot be right," Vex whispered. "Check again." Karn ran the scan 3 more times. The results were identical. "How are they alive?" another officer asked. Vex studied the data more carefully. The answer made his stomach turn. The humans had something called an immune system. It was constantly fighting, constantly killing, constantly adapting. These creatures were born into war with their own biology. "Look at this," Karn said, pointing to another screen. "Their physical structure." Vex examined the data. Human bones were dense and strong. Their muscles could exert tremendous force. They could run for long distances without stopping. They could heal from terrible injuries. They could adapt to extreme temperatures, high radiation, and low oxygen. What kind of world creates such creatures? Someone whispered. Vex accessed the ship's computers remotely, a simple task for the fleet's advanced technology. He found the answer in their navigation files. Earth. A planet in a distant arm of the galaxy. He pulled up everything the humans had stored about their home world. What he saw made him want to order a retreat. Earth was a death world. Massive storms, deadly predators, extreme cold and heat, volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, floods, diseases that killed millions. And yet, humans had not just survived, they had thrived. They had conquered their entire planet. "Commander," Karn said quietly, "there's more. I found their historical records." Vex almost didn't want to look, but he had to know. The records showed endless conflict. Humans fought animals. They fought diseases. They fought nature itself. And they fought each other wars that lasted years, even decades. Weapons that could destroy cities. And still, they survived. "These humans," Vex said slowly, "they are survivors, warriors. They are built for conflict." "Should we destroy them?" Karn asked. "Before they become a threat," Vex considered it. His fleet could easily destroy the small cargo ship. One shot, and the galaxy would never know about humans. But something stopped him. The humans weren't attacking anyone. They were just hauling cargo through space, minding their own business. They probably didn't even know how terrifying they were. No, Vex decided. We watch them. We learn more. Then we decide. He looked at the small human ship on the screen. Inside that vessel were 5 creatures who carried death in their blood, who came from a nightmare world, who had conquered everything that tried to kill them. And they were now traveling through the galaxy. Vex knew one thing with certainty. The galaxy would never be the same again. Asterisk, for the next 3 days, Commander Vex kept his fleet at a safe distance. The Stellar Dawn remained hidden, using stealth technology, while its sensors watched every move the humans made. They are doing something in their exercise chamber, Officer Karn reported. Vex moved closer to the screen. Inside the human ship, he could see Captain Tom Raid running on a mechanical platform. The human's body was covered in moisture sweat, according to their database. Tom ran for 40 minutes without stopping. Why is he torturing himself? Asked Officer Rin, the science officer. It appears to be voluntary physical training, Vex said, studying the data. His heart rate is elevated. His muscles are under stress, but he shows no signs of distress. They watched as Tom finished running and moved to lift heavy metal plates. Up and down, up and down. His muscles strained, but he continued for another 20 minutes. Impossible, Ring whispered. That amount of weight. He should collapse. But Tom didn't collapse. When he finished, he drank water and went back to work. Later that day, they observed Dr. Lisa Morgan in the medical bay. She was treating a crew member named Jack, who had cut his hand on some equipment. The wound was deep, bleeding freely. She's not using regeneration technology, Karn noted with confusion. Lisa simply cleaned the wound, applied some basic medicine, and wrapped it in bandages. Keep it clean, she told Jack. It'll heal in a week or 2. A week? Rin was shocked. She's letting him suffer with an open wound for a week? Vex checked the medical scans. Jack's body was already sending repair cells to the injury. The bleeding had stopped. His immune system was fighting any infection. His flesh would literally rebuild itself. They heal themselves, Vex said quietly, without technology. The crew of the Stellar Dawn watched in fascination as the humans ate their meals. The food was shocking dead animal flesh, plant matter, fermented liquids, things that would poison most species. How do their stomachs process this? Rin asked, running analysis after analysis. The answer was disturbing. Human digestive systems were incredibly powerful. Acid strong enough to dissolve metal. Bacteria that broke down almost anything. A human could eat food that had been sitting out for days and usually survive the experience. Look at this, Karn said, pulling up old data from the ship's computers. They have records of their ancestors eating raw meat, uncooked, sometimes while it was still decaying. Vex felt sick. These creatures were built to consume death itself. On the 4th day of observation, an accident occurred on the human ship. An engine coolant line burst, filling a compartment with toxic vapor. Alarms blared throughout the vessel. 2 humans are trapped inside, Karn reported. The gas will kill them in minutes. But Captain Tom didn't hesitate. He grabbed a breathing mask and ran into the poisoned chamber. Through the toxic fog, Vex watched Tom drag both crew members to safety. The rescue took 4 minutes. Tom had held his breath for most of it. His oxygen levels are dangerously low, Rin said, monitoring Tom's biology. Why isn't he unconscious? Tom coughed, sucked in fresh air, and immediately started helping the others. No rest, no recovery time. Just action. That evening, Vex called a meeting with his senior officers. I have accessed their historical database, he began. What I found troubles me greatly. He displayed images on the screen. Humans climbing the tallest mountains on their planet, breathing air so thin it should kill them. Humans crossing vast deserts with minimal water. Humans diving into deep oceans with crushing pressure. They explore their death world for fun, Vex said. For entertainment, more images appeared. Humans at war. Weapons that split atoms. Bombs that created artificial suns. Poisons that killed millions. They invented these to use against each other, Officer Karn said. Against their own kind. Yes, Vex confirmed. They fight themselves constantly. Small conflicts, large wars. For thousands of years. And they never stop. They never go extinct. They just adapt and continue. Rin pulled up another file. Commander, I found something else. They have a saying, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. The room went silent. It's not just a saying, Rin continued. It's how they live. They deliberately expose themselves to diseases to build immunity. They break their muscles to make them grow bigger. They challenge themselves constantly. Vex looked at his crew. Fear showed clearly on their faces. These humans, he said slowly, they don't just survive danger. They seek it out. They use it to improve themselves. What do we do? Karn asked. Vex made his decision. Tomorrow, we make contact. I need to know if these creatures are our friends or our doom. Commander Vex stood before the communication console, preparing himself. Behind him, his entire bridge crew waited in tense silence. Today, they would speak to the humans for the first time. Open a channel, Vex ordered. The screen flickered. A human face appeared. Captain Tom Reed. He looked surprised, but curious, not afraid. Hello, Tom said simply. I'm Captain Tom Reed of the cargo ship Wanderer. Who are you? Vex straightened. I am Commander Vex of the Galactic Alliance Fleet. We have been observing your vessel. Tom's expression didn't change much. I figured someone was out there. Your stealth technology is good, but not perfect. So ... First contact, then? Yes, Vex confirmed. We wish to speak peacefully. Good, Tom said, smiling. So do we. Would you like to dock with our ship? We can meet face to face. Several officers behind Vex made sounds of alarm. Enter a human vessel? With these dangerous creatures? But Vex knew this was necessary. Agreed. We will send a small shuttle. An hour later, Vex and 2 guards floated through the docking tube into the human ship. The air smelled strange organic, lived in. Tom and Dr. Lisa Morgan waited to greet them. Welcome aboard, Tom said, extending his hand. Vex had studied human gestures. He reached out and briefly touched Tom's hand. The human's skin was warm. His grip was firm but controlled. Vex realized Tom was deliberately being gentle. They gathered in the ship's small meeting room. Tom served drinks, something he called coffee. Vex didn't try it. So, Tom began, what would you like to know about us? Everything, Vex said honestly. Your species is ... unique. We have scanned your biology, your history, and we have concerns. Tom nodded slowly. You're scared of us. The directness surprised Vex. Yes. I understand, Tom said. We scare ourselves sometimes too. Lisa leaned forward. What exactly frightens you? Vex decided to be equally direct. Your bodies are weapons. You carry diseases that could devastate entire planets. You come from a world that should have killed you. Your history is filled with violence. You are built for war. Tom was quiet for a moment. Then he laughed, not a threatening sound, but genuine amusement. You know what's funny? Tom said, we don't think of ourselves that way at all. We're just ... people, trying to survive, trying to explore, trying to understand the universe. But your capabilities, Vex began, are normal to us, Lisa interrupted. Yes, Earth is harsh. Yes, we fight diseases every day. Yes, our history has violence. But it also has music, art, love, friendship. We've built cities and cured plagues. We've written poetry and explored space. We're not just warriors. Tom nodded. We're curious more than anything. That's why we're out here. Not to conquer. Not to fight. Just to see what's out there. And if someone threatens you? Vex asked carefully. Tom's expression became serious. Then we protect ourselves. We protect our families. Our friends. Our home. We won't start fights, Commander, but we'll finish them if we have to. The honesty was chilling and reassuring at the same time. Your people will spread through the galaxy, Vex said. This is inevitable. What happens when you meet species weaker than you? The same thing that happens when I meet someone weaker than me on Earth, Tom said. Nothing bad. I help them if they need help. I leave them alone if they don't. Being strong doesn't mean being cruel. Lisa added, humans have a saying, with great power comes great responsibility. We know what we're capable of. Most of us try very hard to be good. Vex studied them both. They believed what they were saying. But would all humans be like this? I must report to the Galactic Council, Vex said. They will decide how to proceed. Tell them the truth, Tom said. We're not perfect. We make mistakes. We can be dangerous when threatened. But we can also be loyal friends and strong allies. Give us a chance to prove it. After Vex returned to his ship, he spent hours composing his report. Finally, he wrote, the species known as humans are indeed powerful and potentially dangerous. They possess physical and mental capabilities beyond most known species. However, they also show signs of morality, curiosity, and restraint. Recommendation: establish diplomatic relations. Monitor closely. Do not threaten or provoke. If humanity becomes an enemy, the cost will be devastating. If they become an ally, the benefits could be immeasurable. The choice is ours. He sent the report and looked out at the stars. The human ship was already moving away, continuing its journey. Tom and his crew had no idea they had just changed the galaxy forever. Vex hoped the Council would choose wisely. Because ready or not, humanity was here. And the universe would never be the same. The end. Asterisk.